Hot sauce in my bag, swag. I see it, I want it. I stuck yellow on it. I dream it, I work hard, I grind till I own it.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to WCU Entertainment Review. After a very long hiatus of watching tons of TV, movies, reading, what have you, we are finally back and we have so much to talk about today. In movies, we'll be talking about Tina Fey's new movie, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. TV, we'll be talking about so many reboots and revivals that are happening, like Fuller House and the Carrie Diaries. And finally, in music, we will be talking about Beyoncé's new song and video, Formation. So sit back, relax, and let's take it off to movies.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
So now we're going to talk about movies, and before we get into our main segment today, I have to mention, guys, the Oscars happened a couple weeks ago, and finally, Leonardo DiCaprio took home the Golden Prize.
Exactly.
That's
I was so excited for him. He looked so happy up there. I love that they didn't cut off his speech at all.
They can't cut him off.
I have to admit, though, I was really blindsided when his speech took a turn and started talking about global warming.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
That was very different, yeah.
You know, I'm not surprised that Leo did it, though, because I don't know if you guys know, he's really into the environment. He has solar panels in his house. His Twitter, he does have a Twitter, it's just all about the environment, which at first I went, oh, I wanted to know what you were eating for breakfast. But, so I thought it was just a very nice speech. It didn't feel awkward.
No,
I
not at
feel
all.
like it was just a very well-prepared speech. He brought his mom.
It should have been well prepared after this long of like probably writing them and scrapping them.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't mastered.
It's been a long time coming.
My
for sure.
biggest question, though, is I actually have not seen The Revenant yet. I'm really bad. I haven't seen it
Me
yet.
either.
But do you, judging by what else he's been nominated for, do you think this is the one he should have won for? Because if you're asking me, I think he should have won for The Aviator 11 years ago when he played Howard Hughes.
I think he should have won a long time ago. I would say The Titanic, personally.
Yeah,
really
I
good
mean,
movie.
Classic.
Iconic
I loved
movie.
it. Yep.
Even like
Wolf on Wall Street. Wolf on Wall Street is what I would say.
He was disgusting.
Yeah, and he did a great job of being disgusting. He like took
Yeah.
himself completely out of his like actual character and went over to become
Definitely.
Jordan Belfort.
Well, congratulations, Leo, and you know, enjoy the Oscar. Think of us.
Yes, if
Yes,
you're watching
Think of us when you look at that Oscar. So now we're going to talk about, Tina Fey had a new movie come out about 2 weeks ago called Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. And I'm going to hand this over to David, who actually saw the movie. So David, what is this movie about?
Yeah, so I actually saw this movie over spring break, and this movie is kind of different for Tina Fey. It focused more on a serious topic. It was the war in Afghanistan around 2004, 2003.
Extremely serious.
Right, and she played the role of Kim Barker, and she was a journalist that got placed in Afghanistan. And the whole movie kind of revolves around those events in Afghanistan and big changes in her life in her later years and how she adapts and works with that.
So would you say that this is definitely a drama?
Definitely more so a drama. If you're looking for a laugh, you're definitely going to get that, but it's definitely more so a drama.
So it was good. Was it a good movie?
Definitely a good movie. I thought it was a good balance of a drama and a comedy at the same time. I definitely loved Tina Fey in that role, especially because it was different for her and it really worked in my opinion. So go see it if you want to, you know.
I mean, I'll definitely have to check it out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It wasn't really as advertised as most of her movies are, though. So.
And I think that maybe because it's not a comedy, honestly. It's more so a drama. And for her, that's a little bit different.
It's different
and
than what movies
I don't know if,
usually in.
you know, the movie business was ready for that, honestly. But I was, and I liked it. So.
I am.
Yeah.
Well, that brings me to this point. Tina Fey is joining a long line of typical comedic actors in doing very dramatic roles. What comes to mind for me is Jim Carrey did a movie, probably about 11 years ago, called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's a very heavy film, and it's not funny at all. It's a very beautiful movie, but you know, when I think about Jim Carrey, I think about Ace Ventura or The Grinch. So, but he pulls it off so well, which is surprising. So, do you guys know of any typical comedians that have done film roles that were dramatic, and could they pull it off? J-Lo, what do you think?
I think they want to like switch up their career.
Right.
I think if you're a comedian, you don't always want to be a comedian. You want to change like what type of movies you're in, and I think that's like perfect for some people. Some people can do it, and then some people probably can't. But
can you think of anyone that did pull it off? If you can't, that's fine.
no.
I say Steve Carell pulls it off all the time. Like not just one specific movie, but like he's always constantly changing his roles and like how he's portrayed, and I really like respect that in an actor who's very diverse like him.
Yeah. No, Steve Carell, last year he was nominated for an Oscar for his role in Foxcatcher, where he physically transformed himself with really amazing prosthetic work, and he played a very creepy man who ended up being a murderer. So a very big change from the 4-year-old virgin and The Office.
Yeah.
David, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think that helped that those prosthetic changes happened to him because honestly, everybody does view him as Michael Scott from The Office. And it's really hard to get that out of your head, but having those like prosthetic changes to his face and like the hair, it really did help.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Someone else that comes to mind for me is Bill Murray, who, I mean, Bill Murray has such a rich, long filmography, especially with comedies, Ghostbusters, Meatballs, like just so many comedies. But starting in the late 90s, he started doing a lot of dramatic roles. And one film that comes to mind to me is, have you guys ever seen Rushmore? It's Wes Anderson. See it? Everyone go see it. It's an amazing film, and Bill Murray plays a depressed millionaire. He's an alcoholic. His wife is awful. His wife's cheating on him. He cheats on his wife. His kids suck. And he basically, and there's this one scene that I will always think of where he's at his kid's birthday party, and it's at a pool. And he's just sitting there looking very bitter, drinking scotch or whiskey. And then he has a cigarette in his mouth, climbs up to the diving board, cigarette still in his mouth, and just jumps in. And the whole time his face is just like this. And he pulls it off so well. So I would say that general consensus, comedians can pull off dramatic roles.
Absolutely, I completely agree.
I think it's definitely important to realize that they're not just comedians.
Exactly.
They are actors. And just because we've seen them in so many comedic roles doesn't mean that they don't also have that drama side to them.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Just to bring up one more point, I totally forgot Robin Williams.
Oh,
Robin Williams.
Definitely.
Yes. Not just Mrs. Doubtfire.
Good Will Hunting. He won an Oscar for that movie, and he pulled off even Dead Poets Society.
Oh, Dead Poets Society is a classic, one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, he was just a talented person. I think
Definitely.
that speaks for itself. Like the people we mentioned today, Tina Fey, Bill Murray, Jim Carrey, Robin Williams, Eddie Murphy's done some dramatic roles too.
Absolutely.
They're multifaceted people, and I think it's good that all their talents are being recognized.
It makes you a good actor or actress.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. And with that, we're going to head off to TV. All right, so now we're going to talk about one of my favorite things, TV. And a trend that's been happening in TV a lot are revivals and reboots of old shows. I don't know how I feel about it.
I am so impartial on this subject. Like, I was so excited and like so looking forward to Fuller House, and then when it came out, I was just, it was awful. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Like,
here are my thoughts on that first episode. I think they were really trying to like have everybody really happy about Full House coming back. They were using a lot of catchphrases. Everyone, the whole Full House was in that episode. And honestly, it was a little bit much, I think.
Yeah, because they were forcing it. Like, I feel like they weren't setting up the cast members like at all, and they would just be like, "I'm back from this trip in England," like, and then Stephanie came in with a British accent, and I was like, "This is so like this is unnecessary."
Actually, I was really excited for Full House to come out, but then I actually couldn't stop watching it on Netflix.
Yeah,
for some
me
reason.
neither.
I don't know why. It was like the first episode. I was like, wow, it's like a reunion. Everyone's coming back, and I thought it was really great. And then it was like it's different from the old Full House, I think, because we're trying to compare it to the old one, and it's not the same at all with like DJ and Stephanie. But I think they tried.
They
Tried, but I don't think they succeeded.
They got people to watch it. It got renewed for a second season a week after it premiered.
Right, yeah.
I knew that people were going to watch it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course, it's like Full House, like what? Let's
Yeah,
come
that's
back.
a big deal. It felt so robotic and stale.
Forced.
And Bob Saget looked like he wanted to die the whole time.
He's hanging in there.
He just needed the paycheck. That's what it looked like. John Stamos looked genuinely happy to be
he
back.
looked amazing,
Yes.
as always.
For
Looked
sure.
the same as he did in the 90s.
I mean, it's probably all that
Same
wickedness,
with
guys.
Becky.
I don't know. Becky looked
Becky,
great.
Becky looks
she looked
amazing.
the same. Like I was
Yeah.
so surprised. Like didn't look
And
like she aged at all.
The girls looked great too. DJ looked great. Kimmy looked awesome. So did
Definitely.
Stephanie. And then now that these characters are all grown up, they have kids of their own. So DJ had her 3 boys.
Yeah.
And Kimmy had her daughter Ramona, which was really weird, honestly. I didn't like it.
You hate, don't you?
Honestly,
Yeah.
okay. I feel like Kimmy Gibbler's daughter should be a little bit like Kimmy Gibbler, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like Ramona doesn't really, at least from the episodes that I've seen, capture Kimmy Gibbler's quirks, you know?
Yeah, she definitely, I think they definitely play the whole, like, because Kimmy is weird. Let's be honest. She
Definitely.
was the weird kid next door.
Loved her.
And she still is weird, you know, 20 plus years later. And the whole time her daughter's like,
Yeah.
you're so weird.
She is at that age, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It would have been funnier if she would have like act the same as her mother did. Or
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I thought that.
even in like
Ben.
little small bits, you
Yeah,
know?
actually, I did watch the entire season. Don't know how. And there was one episode, Kimmy in the show has her own party planning company, and she's always promoting it. That's a joke. And there was one episode where they all go to a Giants game, and Kimmy gets up on the dugout to promote
yeah.
the company,
Right.
and her daughter wholeheartedly does it with her.
Yeah.
They do a dance and everything. They get
Yep.
arrested together. So there are small moments.
Okay, yeah.
Also, Kimmy has a Latin lover named Fernando.
Oh,
yeah, I thought that
so
was very
random, too.
weird.
That was just weird and annoying. He kept
Yeah.
showing up.
Yeah.
Funny at times, though.
Yeah.
Funny
for
at
sure.
times, but it wasn't. I feel like her whole character was just too forced. Like I think they were trying to make it too much, like you said, like the old Full House, and keep their like characters the same, but not grow with their characters like they
Yeah.
should have.
Yeah, it just didn't. They're all, first of all, they're all in that same house.
Yes.
For when the first episode started, I thought Jesse and Becky still lived there, and I got so angry because I thought you spent all that time there in that little attic.
Right.
But
Yeah.
they moved out, which is good.
Time to
Joey
move
moved
on to
out.
bigger things.
Joey moved out of the basement, which I thought was the biggest shock of all. I thought he would still be living there.
Oh, man.
But we had to address the biggest, what we all missed, the Olsen twins.
Oh.
Right. Definitely.
I thought it was funny how they called that out, like, or brought that to
was
attention
funny.
a couple of times, and I like respected that. I thought that was funny, but
I wanted them to come back.
yeah,
so
me
bad.
too.
So
It's
did
just not the
I.
same. They
Michelle
pretty
was
much
the
made the
favorite.
show.
Like they were just saying like little like bits and pieces of like everything that they said, but I was like, oh, it's not the same.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And they only needed one. They only
Yeah.
needed one of them.
Exactly, yeah. Just Michelle.
They just
The little
needed
Michelle.
one. I know.
Like, not a big deal.
I
but-
know. I miss the Olsen twins so much. But Fuller House, watch it, I guess.
You gotta judge it for yourself.
Yeah,
You know?
don't. I'm really cynical about it, so maybe don't listen to me. But so on the subject of reboots and revivals, so many are happening. Gilmore Girls is filming right now. That's coming back. Personally, I'm really pumped for that. Hey Arnold is coming back, you
Yeah.
Oh,
guys.
I'm
Yeah,
pumped
wow.
for that.
That will be great. And then Carly brought up a good point. Probably what started it all was the Carrie Diaries.
Yes,
So
the
what is
Carrie
the Carrie
Diaries.
Diaries?
Carrie Diaries is essentially supposed to be Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City before she was Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City. But the thing with that is they did not portray her like how I think she would have grown up at all. They put her as a suburban girl in Connecticut and like made her extremely innocent and have like a weird group of friends. Like it just didn't seem
Right.
It seemed too forced again, like as most reboots seem to be these days. So I wasn't like, I couldn't stop watching it, kind of like you in Fuller House. But I just like, I'm glad it ended at the second season.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very conflicted about the trend with reboots and revivals. I mean, Arrested Development came back, oh wow, 3 years ago now, and it wasn't that great. And I think what people are doing that decide, let's reboot Full House, let's reboot, Sex and the City, is that they know that those shows had such a loyal fan base that people will go, oh, I loved Full House 20 years ago in the 90s, and
Right.
I'm going to watch it. But watching it, it didn't feel like Full House.
Yeah,
No.
and
Like
another
you
thing,
said, Jayla, it just felt
yeah,
awkward.
Those kids that grew up watching Full House and all those shows are now, they probably have their own families now, and like
Yeah.
maybe they want that same experience for their kids, and that's
Yeah.
definitely what they're grabbing a hold of now.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're watching it with their kids, but
And it's like Disney rebooted Boy Meets World.
Yeah,
They have Girl Meets World, which I heard is actually pretty good.
I've
It's
heard
not
the
as bad.
opposite of that.
Really?
I've heard
So
it's
did I.
rough, like
Oh.
rough, like worse than Full House.
well,
but I
that's
haven't seen
sad.
it for myself, so I can't really judge.
All right, well, before we go on to music, I have a question. If any show that you loved as a child or even as an adult could be revived or rebooted, what would it be?
Rugrats.
Rugrats was rebooted with All Grown
Was it
Up.
really?
All Grown
yeah,
Up.
Oh, I
that was
forgot.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, that
Because
was
I was
bad.
thinking about that too.
Yeah.
All Grown Up.
Actually, wish that show still came on like TV.
Yeah.
at normal time.
That would be great. Actually, Nickelodeon and Disney Channel should just make a channel where they show all the shows from the 90s and early 2000s.
The channel of lost
They
shows.
tried. I think I don't know. I don't know
showed
what
it
it
like
was, but
3
it was like
a.m.
one night.
It was Nick Rewind is what it was
Yeah.
called.
Yeah,
Oh,
Disney
okay.
had like
So
That's
weird.
So Raven.
Yeah,
and Lizzie
that's
McGuire.
probably my show that I would want to
Yeah.
bring back. Either That's So Raven or like maybe Zoe 101. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Zoe
think-
101.
Yeah.
I think the reason they might not do that though is because they want to give those newer shows some spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
Those are really good shows, but
Yeah.
you know.
You can't be
I-
stuck in the past all the
I would
time.
Yeah.
love a Lizzie McGuire.
Oh, that
Yeah,
would
that
be
would be
amazing.
great,
Hillary
yeah.
Duff is doing great right now.
I would just love for Lizzie. I just want to know what happened when they went to high school. That's all I care about. Even just give me like an article about it. That or
Some closure.
Doug. Doug was one of my favorite shows as a kid. I would love for
I
Doug
like
to come
Doug a lot,
back.
too.
And well, Hey Arnold's coming back, so I'm pretty happy.
Or
about
Rocket
that.
Power too.
Oh,
Rocket
Rocket Power. I
Power.
forgot about that. That
Oh,
was a
these
good
are
show.
all
Yeah.
these are all great ideas. But now we're going to end it with TV and talk about music. So now we're going to talk about music, and one of the biggest things that happened in music ever since the new year started is Beyoncé released a new song and music video at the same time, and it's called Formation, and guys, it's pretty cool.
Not only did she just release this, but she released it so daringly on the same day as the Super Bowl.
Yes, or the
So,
day before, wasn't
the day
it?
before,
Yeah.
the day before.
Right. Yep.
But still, Super Bowl weekend, that's like a lot of hype for that.
That's
Yeah.
when
She was
that's
bold
when it
enough
really
to
got
be,
the spotlight. For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's the only person that could pull that off, and no one could be like, oh, why would you like take the spotlight away from the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I mean, she was probably the highlight of the Super Bowl.
Definitely.
She was. She definitely was. But when was the last time Beyonce released a new single and music video? It's been a while, hasn't it?
I think so.
It
Yeah.
No?
About a year, maybe.
I think
A
it's
year.
probably, the last
Yeah.
song I've really even seen from her was like,
Drunk in Love, I
yeah,
feel like.
like when in her self-titled album.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
because
album,
that just dropped out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
she
album?
surprised everyone
Right.
with
That
that.
was a really
that
good-
was
that
probably
was
the
a good
greatest
album.
surprise
That
of
was a
the
great
year.
album.
It was good.
For sure.
So this means that Beyonce will be coming out with a new album soon. I mean, she announced the world tour happened starting
Yes.
off this summer, right?
Definitely, yep.
So, I mean, I'm all for it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge Beyonce fan. I think she's incredible. I love that she like takes a stance in her music and isn't afraid to like show her sides
Right.
and not afraid of critique.
Exactly.
I think Beyonce just empowers people to be themselves,
Absolutely.
which I think is a great thing to do as an artist.
And her music is
It's really
so
good.
good.
Yeah.
Like that always helps for
I'm
sure.
glad she doesn't like focus on like one thing, like love or passion or something. Like her music is like universal and it's all
Yeah.
different,
Exactly.
and it relates to a lot of people, and I think that's really great.
Definitely.
That's an amazing point because it's true. She has songs about love, but then she has songs about being a woman and songs about her race and songs about just everything that applies to her life. But I feel like she does have this aura around her of just being untouchable to me. Like, I don't know if I could ever even be in the same room as Beyonce. I feel so intimidated. But at the same time, I feel like she gets me.
Yes.
When I listen to her music, I feel like I can relate to her in a
Yeah.
way, even though I
No,
can't
definitely.
at all.
I saw Beyonce at Made in America this past year,
wow.
and I'm telling you, just being in the same like open air as her, like
It's
something came out of my. I screamed like I don't know what happened to me, but like I was like, she's actually here. She's actually on stage.
actually
Yeah.
go see her in June in Philly, and I'm very,
Really?
Did you
very
buy
excited.
tickets?
Yes, I
Oh,
did.
wow.
They sold out so quickly.
Yeah.
I did. I bought them like 3 days after. I
Did
really
they
wanted
cost
to
a
go.
lot?
They did.
But it's worth
Probably
it.
But
worth
it's
it.
worth
It's
it.
gonna be
It's
incredible
so
for
worth
It's
it.
I'm actually going totally off topic. I'm going to see Adele when she comes
Wow.
in. I wanted to see
That
her.
sold out so
Yeah.
quickly.
Well, you know what I heard about
Yeah.
Adele, that she doesn't really do large venues.
Well, I
Or
heard
is that different now?
Well, she's doing it at Wells Fargo here, which is the biggest venue we
Okay.
have in the greater Philadelphia area. But she doesn't like to have a lot of seats available because she doesn't like people scalping her tickets.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that's really nice of her to, but at the same time, it's like, come on, Adele. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But I got, someone came through and I got tickets. So, I mean,
That's gonna be
two
an
queens
amazing
will be coming to Philly this
Yeah.
summer.
Yep.
Philly's
and-
gonna be turn the streets around. Like,
It's gonna be
Shutting
like,
down.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the apocalypse.
it's gonna be like the Pope all over.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely. I think what everyone said about Beyonce, just the way she carries herself, just what she writes in her music. I think there's a reason why we call her Queen Bee. I think
Definitely.
she's
Absolutely.
so graceful, poised.
Yeah. Some people do get angry about that whole like oh, Beyonce's overrated. But honestly,
Yeah.
like, she said it herself. Like, she has earned the spot that she has.
She
now,
has.
you
She
know?
worked so hard.
And yeah, people that try to undercut that, it's just not.
And I think if Beyonce was that overrated, she would not be as big as she is.
Oh, I don't
Right.
think so either. Her beehive is strong.
She survived Destiny's Child. She's the only one that made it big, so props to you, Queen Bee.
Definitely.
Give us your wisdom.
If you're watching this,
If only.
If you're watching this, give us a call.
Definitely.
But anyone else want to contribute anything to this Beyonce talk, or are we ready to wrap it up?
I think that's all I
Yeah,
have
I
to
think
say.
that was good.
Yeah, I think it was a great first show back. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
I work hard.